Okay, let's get into this. There's a term that gets thrown around, in sports all the time. You hear it in business too. Resilience, grit, that kind of thing. And it usually just means, working hard when things are tough.
Right, keep your head down.
But then there's Liverpool Football Club in Europe. And the source material we're looking at today has this phrase that goes way beyond just grit.
Mentality monsters.
Exactly. Mentality monsters. That's our hook. We're looking at this phenomenon where logic just completely leaves the room. You watch sports, and there's usually a probability curve, right?
Of course.
If you're down 3 goals against the best team in the world, the math just says you lose. It's simple.
Right. In 99% of those scenarios, the game's over. The data tells you to pack up, save your energy, accept it. Rationality says you minimize the damage.
Yeah.
But what we're diving into today are those rare moments, the nights where, like the source material says, the impossible becomes inevitable.
I love that phrase, the impossible into the inevitable. It sounds like a movie tagline, but in this case, it's just a historical fact.
It really is.
We've got a stack of sources here, all focused on Liverpool's legendary European comebacks. We aren't just looking at wins, we're looking at great escapes.
Yeah.
Situations where they were just dead and buried.
And we're really focusing on the big three. These are sort of the pillars of the modern Liverpool legend. We have the miracle in Istanbul in 2005.
The big one.
Then the thriller against Borussia Dortmund in 2016. And of course, the night against Barcelona in 2019.
So our mission today is to figure out how. How does a team do this? Not just once, but over and over. Is it luck? Is it skill? We're going to look at the deficits, the turning points, which are just wild, and the players who stepped up.
And what's fascinating is that the outcomes are the same, victory from the jaws of defeat, but the methods are totally different. Sometimes it's a blitz, sometimes it's a slow, grinding chase, and sometimes it's just pure cleverness.
Well, let's start with the one that I think defines the whole genre. The source material calls it the miracle of Istanbul.
Yeah.
This is the 2005 Champions League final.
The biggest stage you can get in club football. You can't get bigger. And to really get the comeback, you have to understand the opponent. This wasn't just any team. This was AC Milan.
And looking at this squad list in our notes, it's terrifying. It reads like a Hall of Fame ballot.
It really is. A truly star-studded side. We're talking Kakaka in his absolute prime, probably the best player on the planet.
Yeah.
Paolo Maldini, one of the greatest defenders ever. Andrei Shevchenko, just a lethal striker. Pirlo, Seedorf, Crespo. This was a team built to dominate.
And they did, at least for the first 45 minutes. The source material highlights the deficit pretty starkly. Liverpool was down 3-0 at halftime.
Just try to put yourself in that locker room.
Oh, I can't.
It's the Champions League final. You've worked your whole life for this, and you're losing 3-0 to that team. The psychological weight must be crushing. Most teams are just crumble.
Right, you're just thinking, okay, let's not lose 6-0.
Exactly. It's seen as the greatest comeback ever precisely because of that gap in quality. Milan was not a team that gave up leads. They were Italian giants.
Yeah.
Known for their defense.
So you come out for the second half. Most people are thinking the game's a wash. But then, just chaos.
Yeah.
The notes here call it a frantic 6-minute blitz.
That's the key. Between the 54th and the 60th minute. 6 minutes. That's all it took. It just defies all logic.
Let's break down who did the damage. Because it's a mix of, expected and unexpected heroes. It starts with the captain, right?
It had to. Steven Gerrard. The source notes, he scores this header in the 54th minute. And it wasn't even a pretty goal. It was this looping header.
Right.
But the way he reacted, waving his arms, screaming at the crowd, dragging his team forward, that was the spark. That's your leader.
So Gerrard gets one back, 3-1. Okay, maybe a consolation goal. But then Vladimir Umser, just 2 minutes later.
A low shot from way outside the box. And suddenly it's 3-2. Now, Milan is in full-blown panic. They've gone from cruise control to crisis in 120 seconds.
And then the penalty. Xabi Alonso steps up.
And he misses it.
He misses, but scores the rebound.
Which is almost more dramatic, So in 6 minutes, the scoreboard goes from 3-0, game over, to 3-3, game on. The entire mental landscape of the final was shattered.
But the drama wasn't over.
Yeah.
It goes to extra time and then to penalties. And we have to talk about the goalkeeper here.
Jerzy Dudek.
The source mentions a heroic double save in extra time.
Honestly, physics can't explain it. From 3 yards out, Shevchenko shoots, he blocks it, and then the rebound basically hits him in the face. If that goes in, the comeback means nothing.
They just lose 4-3.
Exactly. But he kept them alive.
And then the shootout. This is where he becomes a legend. The source specifically brings up the spaghetti legs routine.
Spaghetti legs. It just sounds ridiculous.
It sounds like a bad dance move from the 80s.
It does, but look at the psychology of it. He's on the goal line, knees wobbling, waving his arms, doing this bizarre dance. It was purely to distract the Milan players.
To get in their heads.
And it worked. This team of global superstars missed 3 penalties. Liverpool wins the shootout, and that was their 5th European crown.
So that's the template. 3-goal hole, massive opponent, a frantic blitz, and a goalie with wobbly legs. That's 2005. That's the miracle.
But if we fast forward 11 years to 2016, we get a very different kind of comeback. This is the Dortmund thriller. And this one feels, I don't know, messier.
It feels more emotional, too, just from a story perspective. The context is huge. It's the Europa League quarterfinal. Jürgen Klopp is Liverpool's manager, and he's facing
his old club, Borussia Dortmund, the club where he became a star. He built that team.
So the narrative tension is just off the charts. He's trying to beat the monster he created.
And the situation on the pitch was dire. It was the second leg at Anfield. Dortmund took an early lead. They were just ripping Liverpool apart. The source notes that with only 30 minutes left, Liverpool was down 3-1 on the night.
And because of the aggregate score, it was 4-2 to Dortmund. A draw wasn't enough.
No, not at all. The requirement was massive. They needed to score 3 more goals without conceding to advance.
3 goals in 30 minutes. If they let 1 more in, they need 4. It's a total tightrope act.
It's a mountain to climb. And unlike Istanbul, where you have a whole half to work with, here the clock is just ticking away. 30 minutes, 25, 20.
But they start chipping away at it. Philippe Coutinho scores. Then Mamadou Sakho's defender scrambles one in. All of a sudden, it's 3-3 on the night.
But close isn't good enough in knockout football. At 3-3, Dortmund goes through. They need 1 more goal. And this is where that mentality monster idea kicks in. It's the 91st minute stoppage time.
And the hero is not a striker.
No, it's Dejan Lovren, a central defender. A guy who, let's be honest, had taken a lot of criticism.
The source describes it as a header in front of the cop.
And that detail really matters. The cop is that famous stand at Anfield that just seems to suck the ball into the net. James Milner whips in a cross. Lovren rises up at the far post and just powers it in.
The source describes the scene as absolute bedlam.
I can only imagine. That's the difference here. Istanbul was a shock, a 6-minute explosion. This was a desperate, grinding chase right down to the wire.
So we have the miracle, we have the thriller, but then comes 2019, the night against Barcelona. And honestly, this one, on paper, looks even more impossible.
If Istanbul's the greatest final, this might be the greatest semifinal comeback ever.
It's the Champions League again. The stakes are at their absolute peak. And the odds, I mean, Liverpool had lost the first leg 3-0.
So they start the second leg at Anfield, knowing they need at least 3 just to get to extra time. If Barcelona scores 1, Liverpool needs 5.
Against Barcelona, led by Lionel Messi.
And Messi in 2019 was still, arguably at the peak of his powers. He destroyed them in the first leg. He was unplayable.
But here's the detail that makes it seem truly impossible. The source points out that Liverpool was missing 2 of their biggest stars.
Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino.
That's their entire attack, basically gone. No Salah, no Firmino. You're down 3-0. You're playing Messi, and your bench players have to start.
Yeah, if you're a betting person, you don't even consider it. The task seemed, as the source says, insurmountable. You're asking the depleted squad to humiliate the Spanish champions.
But clearly someone forgot to tell the players that, because what happened was just a total collapse from Barcelona.
It really was. And since the big stars were out, others had to step up. The source highlights Divock Origi and Jorginho Wijnaldum.
They scored 2 goals each.
Which is incredible. Origi scores early, gives them a bit of hope. Then Wijnaldum comes off the bench at halftime, apparently angry he didn't start, and scores 2 goals in about 2 minutes. Suddenly it's 3-0 on the night, 3-3 on aggregate.
But there is one moment from this match that's bigger than all the goals. It's not a powerful header like Gerrard's. It's not a last-second scramble like Lovren's. It's something else entirely.
It's the corner.
The corner taken quickly.
Yes.
I think this is my favorite moment from all of these sources. It's so cheeky. It's almost like something you do in the schoolyard.
It is pure genius. It's the 79th minute. Trent Alexander-Arnold wins a corner, and he walks away from the ball like he's going to let someone else take it.
And the Barcelona defenders are just switched off.
Completely asleep. They're looking at the ref, pulling up their socks, organizing themselves there, not looking at the ball.
Hey, Trent just sees it.
He sees it. He spins back around, hits it early, and Divock Origi is the only other player on the pitch who's on the same wavelength.
He finishes it first time.
That moment, it's pure mental sharpness. In a game that's all about athleticism and physicality, that single moment of cleverness sealed the 4-0 win
4-3 on aggregate.
and sent them to the final.
Which, as the source notes, they went on to win. So that one quick thought literally led to a European trophy.
It did. It's one of the smartest plays I think I've ever seen in that kind of high-pressure environment.
Okay, so we've unpacked the 3 matches: Istanbul, Dortmund, Barcelona. I want to synthesize this a bit. When you look at them side by side, what patterns do you see? Because they feel connected, but also really distinct.
Well, looking at the comparison data, the deficits tell a really interesting story. For Istanbul and Barcelona, you're looking at a 3-goal hole. But one was at halftime in a final, the other was carried over from a first leg.
So the psychological pressure is different.
Exactly. In Istanbul, you have 45 minutes to fix an immediate disaster. It's acute. Against Barcelona, you have 90 minutes, but you've had days of everyone telling you it's impossible.
Right.
And Dortmund was different again, a late 2-goal deficit. That's just pure panic mode. That's throw everyone forward and hope.
And what about the heroes?
This is what I love. Look at the names. 2005. It's Steven Gerrard, the captain, the legend, the guy you expect to do it. 2016.
Dejan Love.
An unlikely hero. A defender who isn't really known for scoring.
And 2019.
Divock Origi, the deputy striker. The guy who was only playing because the stars were hurt. It shows this mentality monster thing isn't just about one superstar, it's cultural.
That's a great point. It's the system, not just one person. It suggests that anyone in that shirt can be the one to turn things around.
And then compare the turning points. Gerrard's header in 2005 was a physical act of will, pure effort and adrenaline,
Versus the quick corner.
which was completely cerebral. It was awareness, it was vision. So being a mentality monster isn't just about running harder. It's about thinking faster when the pressure is at its absolute highest.
It's turning the impossible into the inevitable.
Exactly. These matches created that identity. No, when teams go to Anfield in Europe, they know. They know a 3-0 lead might not be safe. The history itself becomes part of the opponent's mental burden.
It's incredible. From Dudek's miracle saves to the bedlam of Lovren's header, and then to the split-second wit of that corner. It's an evolution of how to win from an impossible position.
A total masterclass in resilience.
So what's the takeaway for us? Why should you listening care about football matches from years ago? We're not all playing in the Champions League.
Because it challenges our own perception of what's impossible. In our own lives, our careers, we hit these points where the data says, stop. The deficit's too big. The project's too far behind.
The rational thing to do is quit.
Right. The data says minimize your losses. But these stories show that if you just keep playing, if you refuse to accept that you're beaten, strange things can happen.
If you keep playing and you stay mentally sharp, the whole game can change in 6 minutes or in one split second.
Momentum is a real, tangible thing. And once you start to turn it, the old logic just falls apart.
Which brings us to a really interesting closing thought.
Yeah.
We think of monsters as these overpowering physical beasts. You know, Godzilla smashing buildings.
Yeah.
But the moment that secured that 2019 comeback, the corner, it wasn't about strength at all.
No, it was about vision, about being awake when everyone else was asleep.
So here's something for you to think about. When you're facing your own impossible challenge, a project that's behind, a goal that seems out of reach, what kind of breakthrough are you looking for?
Are you just trying to push harder? To run faster on the same treadmill?
Or are you looking for your corner taken quickly? Are you looking for that one moment to think faster than everyone else and turn the whole game on its head? Sometimes the legendary moment isn't a loud explosion.
Sometimes it's quiet, quick, and smart. And that's what makes it inevitable.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll catch you on the next one.
See you then.